Ah, hell. I'm in the wrong game again. Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Undefeated. So, it is the time of the big rematch, y'all. I'm curious to see how this goes. I think Zander's probably going to lose this rematch, but I think he's gonna do a little bit more than he did before. So, I think Bruce is going to underestimate him again, and I'd really like to know who that person was who brought him back to his room. I wonder if it was Bruce. That would be an interesting twist. Ooh, excuse me. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and just jump right back in. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright. With no referee down here to facilitate the fight, it's up to the fighter to determine when a fight is done. Bruce certainly isn't going to stop until I'm incapacitated, so I'm the only judge of how much I can take. How much is enough? If I'm still conscious, doesn't that mean I should keep fighting? What happens if he breaks a bone? Will I still be awake? Would that even stop Bruce? Bucky's warm expression has changed to be more concerned. Alright? You kind of stared off into space there, Zander. I shake myself back into it and nod. Understood. I'll do my best. That's all anyone can ask of you. Bucky hugs me. He's warm, and his body is soft. We stay like this for a moment. I don't feel as shaky as anymore. The elevator dings and the door starts to part. Bucky stands back up and steps behind me. You're gonna do great. I step onto the elevator next to the attendant. Knock him dead, Zander. Well, not actually dead, but... The door's shut while he stammers to correct himself. It's clear now that my confidence wasn't fake enough to convince Bucky that I could do this either. But is tapping out really the only way to survive this without a concussion or worse? Submitting to my opponent really isn't my thing. Hasn't been for a while. Used to get told off for giving up too early. I don't want to disappoint Bucky like that. But he's the one suggesting it. God, this sucks. All the while, the attendant has been listing off the rules for the fight, same as it ever is. We get to the bottom and I deposit myself into the empty arena. The lights come up and... It's like deja vu at this point. I wait behind the line for Bruce to step out. I learned from watching other guys' fights these last few weeks that the commentators are doing some sort of preamble right now for broadcast viewers. It's all being live streamed in real time, so I just wait around until the show starts. Sure enough, the doors opposite me open, and Bruce steps out and moves towards his line. He's got the same cocky grin as always. Well, well, back for round 2, little man. Well, maybe second half of round 1. You barely lasted long enough to call that last fight a full round. He glares, waiting for a reaction. I just stare back. Not too chatty today, huh? No fun little quips or scared explanations? Nothing? A short pause before he realizes I'm not saying anything, and he steps to the center of the ring, taking a boxer's stance. All right, then. Come on, Zander. He spoke under his breath, just loud enough for me to hear it. Your fans are waiting. Deep breath in and out. The guard comes up as well. That seems to elicit a smile from Bruce. I cross the line into the ring, and the buzzer goes off. Bruce watches me approach, his body unmoving, but as I get close, he moves in. I step back immediately on the defensive. He laughs. You're so scared of me. That's adorable. What's the matter, kid? Thought you were training hard. You don't gotta be scared of the big bad Bruce. He'll end you nice and quick. He steps out on the last word, his massive fist firing forward. I lean to the side, evading the blow. His rear fist aims for my face, only to whiff completely as I sway to the opposite end. Ducked down this low, this close to his unprotected body, I fire a few shots out before circling behind him, backing up to create some distance. Didn't seem to have any effect. Bruce is unfazed as he follows me to the center of the arena. Not bad, kid. Why don't you come a little closer? Having trouble hitting me? Not a million years. His face sort of tightens up at that. He carries himself confidently, so I need to make him vulnerable, get his guard down. It's a dangerous game, but if I can bait out that anger, I can get him to where I need him. He reaches out for me. I parry at his wrist, making sure to keep my limbs outside his grab range. With his arm outstretched, I duck down, peppering that body with more blows before circling out once again. I'm lucky this arena is so wide. Even with a beast like Bruce, I've got space to move freely. I can even step over the line as long as I get back in quickly. You just can't sit still, can you? You can't hit me, though. He scowls. Alright, smartass, you want to bet? I don't waste the time to respond, already moving in as he speaks. My fist thumps against his body uselessly. I can tell he's getting slightly more pissed, though, as I immediately back out of the position. His desperate grab comes down, reaching for my frame, only to hit the space I once occupied. Jumpy kid! Bruce stomps forward, throwing a single fist for my head, only to have it meet thin air. If he can't hit me, I can't go down. He can wear you out. I take a step back. Bruce takes a step forward. His rear fist pistons forward at breakneck speed. I blink, barely able to react by leaning my head back. The gloved fist misses, narrowly coming up short to my snout by a few centimeters. A powerful gust of wind whips against my face. I take a step back. Bruce grunts, twisting his torso to one side. His leg starts to lift for a kick. Now's my chance! On the back to the line of the ring, Bruce probably figures he can corner me and keep me out of the space. He's trying to send a front kick and force me out. The foot explodes forward, but I'm already moving before it reaches its peak. I pivot to my left, getting around to Bruce's side. It's already a better fight than it was before. He's already made good progress. He just has to find a way to actually hurt the guy. I face my torso against his abs with as much weight as I can muster. I force my torso, trying to knock him off balance. It seems successful, the dinosaur now needing to lean forward on his outstretched leg to stay standing. With Bruce leaning forward now, almost bent over, I leap onto his backside. My arms tangle around his neck and immediately start tightening. I hear him choke up, his arms reaching for mine to contest the hold. I constrict even further, gritting my teeth and my biceps dig into his throat. This forces another cough from Bruce. His throat vibrates with a growl. My arms pull in forcefully, holding that choke as hard as I'm able. Bruce's thick fingers can't wedge their way between my arm and his neck. What can his tail do, though? His tail is thick, dude. His tail can wrap around your fucking torso, probably. If he can't get a grip on my arm, there's no escape. He coughs out a bit of a chuckle, walking around with me on his back now. A hand moves to my elbow, which quickly drops down to his shoulders. I can't afford to give him an ounce of leeway. His coughs are getting desperate now, his breathing slowed in an effort to conserve oxygen. The beast pauses, freezing in place in the center of the ring. I'm praying for the tap out. Bruce starts to lean backwards. I can't just release the hold I risked so much for, but the beast is definitely falling now, fast, with me in the perfect place to cushion his fall. I just have to hope I can withstand the fall. We land with a nasty crash, my head getting whiplash and rocking into the hard cement floor. I cry out, desperately clinging to Bruce. When my shoulders pressed into the floor, I felt my hold loosen, granting Bruce just enough space to squeeze his grip underneath me. He pulls my arm away effortlessly, taking in a heavy breath and growling it out. Ha! Love the stunts, kid! You alive back there? I don't bother responding. I think my head is bleeding from the impact, but I can't check right now. All I can try to do is pull my hold tighter, fighting uselessly against Bruce's grip. He grunts and pulls my arm to either side, rolling over on top of me. Our eyes meet again. He's breathing heavy, blowing hot air out of his snout. His body is heavy, but through that breath he's showing off a big toothy grin. The grip on my arm tightens, forcing the bones to strain. Now, what are we gonna do with these? He shakes my arm a little bit. The grip loosens, and I swing at his jaw, only for Bruce to force my forearm down against my neck. Ah, still awake, huh? Can't risk you trying something cute. Let's rip him off. His form rises up a bit, one hand keeping my arm pressed into my throat. He takes my left wrist as he crawls over to that side. Bruce turns perpendicular to my body, straightening my arm just out against his abs. Both of his tree trunk legs drop onto me, forcing another gruff choke out of me. Ow! Yeah, damn, that's not going to end well. Say goodbye! With a firm pull on my arm, pain shoots straight down my wrist into my shoulder. He's bending my elbow backwards, pulling on my arm hard enough to dislocate or worse. I cry out in agony, trying to lift his legs off of my chest. Oh, careful, Runt! He locks his ankles, essentially sealing his armbar position to leverage more pain into me. Joints are bending, muscles are pulling, far worse than anything I've experienced. My grunts and growls turn to desperate cries. He's going to break it. He's going to break my arm again. I'll have to start over again and again. If he doesn't stop, I'll lose all the progress I made. I have no choice. My free arm reaches up, tapping Bruce's ankle 3 times. A tap out, a submission, an admission of defeat. The instant he feels those taps, the hold loosens and the pain stops, but the hold doesn't release. He growls. What's that, kid? Do it again! His grip tightens, but he doesn't pull the arm. Still, the pain is definitely still raw, so I start tapping again, growling as he taunts me. The second set of taps makes Bruce release entirely, throwing my damaged arm over my sweaty, exhausted body. There we go! Bruce rises, pushing up off the ground to get his feet. Both his arms raised in celebration. He's posing for the cameras, yelling and cheering about his victory for the crowd. I lean back, closing my eyes and rubbing my shoulder. I don't think it's broken, but it definitely hurts. God, this sucks, but at least I'm alive. Bruce is still pacing. I can feel his footsteps wander aimlessly around me as I rest. They're getting closer. Ow! Heavy weight drops onto my chest. Something breaks, I think. I don't know. It hurts to breathe. My eyes shoot open, looking up at the man towering over me. Bruce is staring down, eyes wide, frozen in place. His cocky grin is gone, replaced with a lost expression. He lifts his foot up off my body, now moving to stomp down next to me. My ribs. You... What the fuck? I try to raise my voice, hoping to sit up, only for a indescribable pain to pulse through from the center of my body. My body collapses, sucking in wheezy breaths. Bruce straightens up, closing his eyes and moving over me toward his elevator. I'm in too much pain to try and call out. The doors open behind me, and I can hear a few people make their way toward me. Easy, Alex. Rage. Just try to relax. Just relax. Try not to take any deep breaths. I bite my tongue for my own sake and close my eyes. It was either exhaustion or shock that carried me to sleep. I don't know which is better. Damn, broke his ribs. Put up a better fight than last time, though. The sleep didn't last too long, though. Alex, good to see you! I sip air in slowly, glaring at the feline walking into my room. It's hard to get a full breath without... God, fuck! A sting of pain streaks up from my torso. That'll teach me to try to take a deep breath. Drayden looks uncomfortable. Looks uncomfortable with a half smile. Wow, okay. A message received, Alex. Ribs. He straightens up, moving to my bedside immediately. What happened? You broke my fucking ribs, Doc. What else do you want? Another stabbing pain down my side. I grip my teeth and lay back, growling. Shit, okay. Lay back and try to relax. Drayden moves swiftly to the other side of the room, throwing open a cupboard on the wall and rummaging around. He returns to my bedside, holding 2 pills. He pauses, looking around frantically. Oh, shit, hang on. What? Water, for the pills. I'll just fucking take them dry. I'm about to scream. Drayden drops the pills into my hand, and I nearly toss them into my mouth. They're a little big, but I manage to choke them down. By the time they go in, Drayden returns with a little paper cup of water. I guzzle that down too, crumpling the cup and laying back against my pillow. He grabs a clipboard at the end of my bed and flips through it. Sheesh, no kidding. What? We're gonna need a chest x-ray, maybe a CAT scan too. I don't know if that was his way of trying to make some stupid joke about him being a cat. I just grunt and close my eyes. So it probably hurts to breathe. Obviously. But I don't want you to try holding your breath or anything, okay? It sucks, I know. Those pain meds should start kicking in soon. It won't be perfect, but you'll feel a lot better. For now, I need you to keep breathing. Just take it slowly. And don't worry about moving around until the pills are in. Can't you hook me up to the IV or whatever you did last time? He shakes his head. We need to assess what's wrong first before we can treat it. But for the time being, just lay back and breathe. This sucks. I don't want to lay back and wait. I want to fight. I want to go back to my room and sleep this shitty night off. I want to breathe without feeling like I'm getting stabbed. I want to... Whoa. I can breathe just fine. Drayden smiles. Looks like the meds kicked in. How are you feeling? I'm fine. I feel really sleepy. Definitely not from exhaustion, though. Just something else. I feel a smile creep across my face. Drayden lets out a little chuckle. Looks like it, but codeine will do that to a person. Maybe I should have gotten some last time? He shakes his head, still smiling. I'll be dead in the ground long before any of my patients develop a taste for this stuff. Emergencies only. Now come on, or we're gonna get you scanned. This will be the second cat I've scanned tonight. Drayden gives me a weird smile. Jokes, huh? I'm learning more about you every day. He helps me out of bed and onto my feet. It's a little hard to walk, but I managed to follow Drayden's orders pretty well, given my condition. I spent the night in the med bay. The sleep was alright for the most part, but by the time I woke up, I was ready to get hooked up to their meds. So, some good news. No lung puncture, only 2 ribs got damaged. Hooray. The problem is that the fractures aren't exactly clean. It'd be speedier to heal if it was a clean break. I guess that's what happens when a 300-pound man tries to collapse your rib cage. Overall, it could have been a lot worse. I'd say you got lucky. Drayden seems to catch my glare, wiping the smile from his face. Still, I never expected Bruce to do a dirty blow like that. He can get off hand sometimes, but I've never seen him try anything after the fight's already over. Doesn't surprise me. What do you mean by that? He's been an asshole this whole time, aside from the whole nearly killing me in the ring. He came back after my first fight to make fun of me in the med bay, and a few days later I pause. Haven't really thought about what happened that day. Even just mentioning it manages to freeze me in my tracks. Alex? I shake myself back to Drayden. The heart rate monitor I'm hooked up to is going crazy. Are you alright? I'm fine. I'm fine. Drayden rolls his eyes. And your heart rate just spiked for the hell of it? I said I'm fine! Another attempt to sit up was met with stabbing pain up my body. I groan and lay back. Well, we've got plenty of time to talk on it, seeing as you're stuck here all day. What's going on? Drayden is sitting with one leg crossed over the other, clipboard propped up on his knee, pen in hand. It's quiet, aside from my monitor. A flash of that moment creeps down my spine, Bruce staring me down as the world watches in anticipation. It's nothing, really. Marlene and I were eating lunch, and a clamor outside the doors catches my attention. Drayden seems to notice it too as he turns toward the entrance to my room. Zander! Speak of the devil, Redline forces the door open, standing in the doorway. That door swings forward, slamming against the wall, and then back into Redline with the same force. Without skipping a beat, Redline pushes it open again, holding it firmly against the wall to keep it from flinging back again. Redline. What the hell was that? Dr. Drayden, this is Redline. Oh yeah, hi. Thank you for bursting into my patient's room unannounced. I assume security let you through. I don't think I've heard Drayden sound somewhat happy. Redline turns to face him. I'm Zander's roommate. That's not what I asked. Redline stops for a moment, thinking, then turns to me. I was going to come last night, but security said your room was off limits. Again, not what I asked, but I'll assume the answer is yes. Redline, meet Dr. Drayden. Oh, yeah, we already met in passing. We talked a bit the first time I was here. Oh, I remember that. I was trying to get to my patient's room, and you were just chatting up a storm. Good to see his behavior seems consistent with other people. Means I don't have to deal with it alone. Still, Drayden seems to have a kinder tone in his voice now. It seemed to hit it off pretty well, actually, talking to each other like it's no problem. Redline says something funny, and Drayden laughs. I'm surprised you've remembered after all these months since we talked. But, I'm afraid you caught me and Alex in the middle of... Alex? Both stop for a beat. I can feel my stomach tighten. Yes, Alex. He gestures to me. That's Zander. They both look at each other, then to me. Ugh, I sit up. Yeah, Alexander Mason is my legal name. Drayden shifts uncomfortably, looking down at his clipboard. Right, that's what I have here, Alexander Mason. You told me it was Zander, though. I hate this. Right, yeah, that's what I like to be called. Oh, why didn't you tell me? I hate this. Now that they know, it's all they're ever going to call me. They're both quiet for once. I guess they're waiting for an answer. I can't look at them. I didn't think it would matter. My name is Alex, so you call me Alex. I get it. Well, no, not when you want to be called Zander. Drayden scribbles some lines on his clipboard, then writes a bit more. You should have told me when we met, Zander. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what to say. That knot is still tugging at my chest, but I should be feeling relief. Alright, guys and gals, I'm going to pause it right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!